So what's so bad about being stressed? Welcome to SIEN. In the previous video, I discussed some of the superhuman abilities we gain when we activate the sympathetic nervous system. We do, however, pay a very heavy price for these abilities, especially when stress has become our normal state. As I'm about to list some of the emotional, mental, behavioral, and physical symptoms of stress, I suggest you note down anything that may be relevant to you, as we can sometimes be quite unaware of how stressed we actually are. We're just so used to it we don't notice anymore. And taking a moment to check in can be good. Emotionally, we can feel overwhelmed, wound up, and irritable. Since chronic stress causes our baseline to be higher, we are more easily triggered and far less patient. We can feel anxious and even enter a state of hypervigilance because our body is telling us that there must be a threat nearby. We are constantly looking for the danger, for the threat. So something that usually in our normal, more relaxed state won't faze us, now suddenly becomes the focus of our anxiety. Lacking in self-esteem. Think about the connection between feeling safe in an environment and how that affects your confidence versus feeling unsure or insecure. It will reduce your self-esteem and your confidence. And as I've already mentioned in one of the previous videos, perspective plays an important role here. You already view your challenges to be greater than your own abilities. Mentally, we may be experiencing racing thoughts, constant worry, difficulty concentrating, making decisions, or even problems with memory. We also enter a state of short-term thinking. Since the stress response is designed to help us out of immediate physical danger, it's geared towards finding an immediate solution, immediate relief. We're not thinking long-term, we're thinking about how am I going to achieve some sort of relief right now. It also limits our productivity and creativity. Behaviorally, you might eat more or less, drink more, smoke more, anything to get that dopamine. Or you might find yourself snapping at people. Since you may be quite unpleasant to be around when you're stressed, this could lead to social isolation. And in some cases, we even also avoid people and situations. We're already feeling overwhelmed, so why would we want to take on any more? The problem with this is social isolation triggers more of a stress response. Humans are fundamentally social creatures to varying degrees. And when we're isolated from our tribe, our very survival may be in peril. Physically, we can experience headaches, muscle tension, skin irritations like eczema and psoriasis, shingles, problems with sleeping, feeling generally tired, as well as a compromised immune system and digestive issues. Digesting food and processing waste requires a lot of energy. So it's one of the systems that our body will shut down when the stress response is triggered. As uncomfortable as these disturbances can be, the bigger impact isn't necessarily so immediately obvious. Our human cells are outnumbered by bacteria. It's a thing, look it up. I'm going to focus on the bacteria that lives in our digestive system, in our gut. They perform very important roles that help protect us from illness. And many things can affect the health of our microbiome, but stress has a particularly big impact. This can lead to chronic inflammation, which is linked to almost every age-related illness. Since stress is geared towards a physical danger, our bodies are reacting as if we're about to face a physical threat. So it prioritizes systems in the body, in your immune system, that focuses on bacteria. And systems that will defend against things like viruses are reduced. So you become more defensive against bacteria and less so towards viruses. Staying in a stress state for extended periods of time compounds, and the effects of that are really noticeable in later life. This long-term stimulation of the fight, flight, or freeze response reduces stress hormones. And long-term stress-induced secretion of these hormones are linked to illnesses like hyperglycemia, which is high blood sugar, which can lead to type 2 diabetes. Also, hypertension, which is high blood pressure, which is associated with cardiovascular disease. And a lack of good quality sleep is linked to some very specific cancers. In the next video, I will start to look at strategies to help cope better with stress and possibly even eliminate chronic stress entirely. Thank you so much for watching. I'd appreciate it if you would like this video and subscribe right now. Now, all human beings are human beings? Now, all human beings are social creatures. That was a good one. Use that one. Am I talking to myself?